The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
You know, 22-year-old Chris would have enjoyed St. Patrick's Day falling on a Monday. He would have been like, that's a long weekend of partying and I can't wait. 47-year-old Chris is like, wow, that was a long weekend. I'm exhausted. It was fun all weekend long, even with the blizzard during the parade on Sunday. I was at Porter Cullen's. Like, me and the kids looked outside at the weather, and I said, do you guys want to stand at like 104th and Western, or you want to go to Porter Cullen's and listen to a band? Unanimous vote. So we spent the day in Evergreen Park. We spend this episode, as always, in Evergreen Park. Mitch and Amy Kazin going to be on this show. You've had Amy on here so many times from Evergreen Park Community High School. She's always got a play or a performance. Her husband, Mitch, is the band director, 38 years. This is his final year. First time on the podcast. That's later on in this show. An episode brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, reminding you your child's bright financial future starts with learning good money habits early in life. Help them get ahead with a Junior Savers account from the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. With a Junior Savers account, kids earn interest on every dollar they deposit. They get a statement every month. They get to watch their money grow. It's not a bad thing to have attached to your home account. Easy transfers back and forth. Show your kids how fun and rewarding saving can be and set them up for success. Get over to the First National Bank of Evergreen Park in that iconic building at the corner of 95th and Pulaski, member FDIC. The Kazins coming up, but first a little Taekwondo in Evergreen Park. The EP Podcast at a spot that I pass by on 95th Street all the time, Woori Taekwondo. Master Kim is with me. How are you, sir?
Kim, sir, how are you?
Oh, wonderful. First of all, I love the facilities. It's bright, it's big. I would imagine you need a lot of space when you're doing Taekwondo. I mean, first of all, to me, the most I know about martial arts is what I've seen on TV and in the movies, right? Like yes. I know Karate Kid, but that's karate. That's not Taekwondo. What is Taekwondo? What's the best way to describe it to somebody who doesn't know anything about it?
Oh yeah, actually the Taekwondo is a traditional martial art from Korea. It's similar to karate, but Taekwondo is 75% are using the leg, and then 25% using their hands. Mm-hmm. Of course, the discipline and the respect, and also learn the self-defense techniques.
So self-defense is involved in it, and I see all this space that you have here, and I'm kind of curious, like, is this, when I watch or participate in Taekwondo, would you describe it as something where you need a lot of space for what you're doing, or is it a very close combat defense type?
It depends on what we're doing. So we have some exercise, during the class. That time we need some space.
Yeah.
But when we're doing some, self-defense technique, it will be the partner drill, which means they're facing each other. So it depends on what we're doing, but this space is perfectly great for about 50 students.
Yeah, you have a lot of people that go here. Like, one of the reasons I reached out is the amount of listeners and also people that I know have their kids here. Some people are adults that take classes here. You take all age ranges and a lot of people in Evergreen Park, right? Tell me a little bit about your classes.
Yeah, sure. So our program, all ages welcome and levels welcome. We also have a 4 and 5 years old class.
Really? 4 or 5 years old? Like the little guys are doing
little guy, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we call Little Tiger.
I see, that would make me nervous. I don't know if I want to have a 4-year-old who's already rambunctious able to kick me. That would be the class that would make me most nervous teaching. Is that the one that makes you most nervous?
Yes, because they have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Some the Little Tiger, they running around.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, of course, they're gonna a little bit hard time,
yeah.
but repeat, and then each class by class they learn the direction. They follow our directions, and also the discipline. So we starting the end, we bowing. So which means we are helping to develop their like a manner.
Like a respect thing.
Yeah, respect.
Yes, for sure. So how long have you been in Evergreen Park? I would imagine you got a lot of people from the neighborhood that come in here and learn and participate.
Yes, we since 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, we start.
I see all the demonstrations. Like you guys are at a lot of the different events and things like that. It
Yes,
seems like
we participate, the local event,
Yeah.
especially the school events as well, and the festival and the parade. So
seems important that you're like part of the community.
Yes, yeah, we also like support our community.
Yeah.
So we have a after-school program in the public school, and then whenever they pay for that program, 100% we donate to school. Which means,
Really?
yeah, we like supporting the community.
That's amazing. I also know you do something with St. Jude, correct? Can you tell me about that?
Yes, we do. That is an annual fundraiser event since 2012. So the past 13 years, we raised $180,000 to St. Jude.
Wow, that's incredible. So now you take a look at me. Trust me, I am not the most athletic person in the world. How hard would it be for you to get me up to speed and actually be able to do Taekwondo? Because I look at something like this and I go, there's absolutely no way I could do this.
So don't worry, our Taekwondo, we not compare with the others.
Okay.
We always compare the past us. So the little by little you can better than before. So in our class is all age group, which means, even exercise, we are the first, the important thing is they're saved. So all age and then all the level is welcome. And then even some like overweight people can enjoy the program.
Yeah.
Because we have a little exercise.
Yeah.
And then also the training with the Taekwondo is a little the sweating and then flexible, so helping their long life.
All age, shapes, and sizes, it sounds like. Now, on the other hand, not all of them could probably go into a competition. You have a competition coming up in April that you're hosting here. Is that something that like people can come and see, or is that something that like it's really just those that are your students? Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, both. They can participate or watching. So whoever participate, they can to show off their form or breaking or power or speed, and then even they can just watch what kind of competition we do have.
Yeah, I saw it was like an open competition. Does it get intense? Do these competitions get intense? Are you fighting in these competitions? Are you judging in these competitions? What are you doing?
I'm not fighting.
Okay. Because you would win because you're Master Kim.
Thank you. So actually, we judging.
Okay.
Yes, and then student they competing with all the students, or we invite outside the school, and then or they were competing each other. If
somebody wanted to try this out, how would they get started? What do they do? Just walk in off the street? Is there a website? Is there a phone number? How should they get started with you?
Oh yeah, so we have a website, so people they can visit our website. So we also have an online book system from the website, or they can simply just visit our the place. Also they can call us at 708-422-0078.
Okay, 422-0078.
Yes.
All right, and your web address, what is that?
WooriMartialArts.com, WOORI martialarts.com.
You say the name of this place much better than I do. I'm going Woori, and you're like Woori. I mean,
your pronunciation is perfect, but Woori means you and me in Korean.
Is that what it means?
Yes.
Okay. Now
I like that word. That's why we made the word for the school's name.
That's awesome. And you could just do what I did. I just walked in off the street. You guys were like they're not nervous when you walk in off the street, because if you're a problem, they're going to kick your butt, I would imagine. Well, listen, Master Kim. First of all, facilities beautiful. All right, you've been here. You've been here now for your. I mean, I'm trying to do the quick math in my head, but you've been here for 14 years.
Yes.
Okay, you're clearly a part of the community. What you're doing with the local schools and how you're giving back is extremely commendable, and I appreciate you letting me stop by here. And who knows, maybe one day you'll get me in here. I mean, maybe, possibly.
Not maybe, sir. We're always welcome to you. Yeah.
I need an outfit, though. I gotta get.
You can do it. So
I can do
that.
Okay, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. Before the show continues, I gotta admit something to you. Every once in a while I'm doing an interview and I miss what the guest says. Like you sit there, you talk to so many different people and they're telling you about their business or what's going on in their life or some sort of initiative or what they're doing for the voters, whatever it might be. And 99% of the time, I hear everything that they say. In fact, I've taught in front of classes at Columbia College. I'm going to be teaching at Moraine Valley in their communications department on how to podcast. And I always tell people, a list of questions is not the way to go. You want to hear what they say, and then you want to craft your next question based off of what they say. Pay attention to what the other person is saying. And I went back and put together that last interview and realized I missed something completely in that interview. And sometimes that happens when the person you're interviewing may be having a problem figuring out exactly what they want to say. So then you start helping them a little bit. Nothing against the guest, just some people need a little bit of help. But then you miss something. And again, it happened in that interview. And I heard this only after I did the edit. And I think you might have missed it as well. Check out one of the reasons why Master Kim says you should try Taekwondo. Listen to it again.
Because we have a little, exercise, and then also the training with the Taekwondo is a little, the sweating, and then flexible, so helping their long life.
Yep. Taekwondo makes you more flexible, which helps the love life. And signups for Taekwondo increased 300% in Evergreen Park. And a couple of clicks of the button, and now I'm signed up for Taekwondo. Gotta keep that edge, guys. Gotta keep that edge. Your EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Amazing small plates, really good food. Great place to go with friends or on a date. So many different wines to choose from. They're constantly rotating in new ones. Just tried a Shiraz from Southern Australia. It took me back to my trip there a few years ago. And if you like it, you buy it in the bottle shop, you take it home, see everything they have to offer and all of their upcoming events at SpokenVineWines.com. Early voting has begun for the April 1st general election for local government. The nearest early voting location for those of you in Evergreen Park is the Oak Lawn Public Library at 9247 South Raymond Avenue. Or just wait till the 1st of April and cast your vote. The Evergreen Park Police Department is holding 2 T-level clinics for the Kids Golf Foundation this summer. These clinics are offered free of charge for boys and girls who live in the village between the ages of 8 and 13. Non-residents will not be accepted into this program. Get to the village website and sign yourself up. St. Paddy's Day is over, Easter is next. You can get your family picture taken with the bunny, enjoy a craft, do some Easter egg coloring, and get a continental breakfast, all brought to you by the Evergreen Park Rec Department, Wolf's Bakery, donating the breakfast, April the 12th, 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. at the Community Center. Mark your calendars now. The address, 3450 West 97th Street, is a free event for all Evergreen Park families. Meanwhile, the Youth Department is collecting donations for the EP Food Pantry through the month of April. Items needed include peanut butter, jelly, cereal, canned goods, macaroni and cheese, canned tuna, canned soup, pasta sauce, and laundry soap. Please check the expiration dates. Don't give them stuff that's already expired. You can drop donations at the Community Center at 3450 West 97th Street. All right, joining me here at the 9 Foot Homemade Oak Bar, we have a guest that has been on the show a lot. So she is an old pro, and then she brought a new guest along with us. So we have Amy Kazin from Evergreen Park Community High School, and then we have her husband, Ken Kazin, from Evergreen Park Community High School. Ken is the band director over there. Amy seems to do so many different things. I'm curious to find out what she's into right now, but how are both of you?
Great. How are you?
Awesome.
Yeah, Ken, before we even dive into what's been going on with the band and with all the other different I'll call them non-athletic programs in which there's a lot going on over at the high school. First of all, welcome to the show. Secondly, I think it's cool to have you on. I believe 38 years as the band director over at Evergreen Park Community High School. You're in your last season. This is like the big finale. Is there pomp and circumstance and celebration planned? Is that going on all year? What's happening with you?
Well, thank you, and I'm glad to be on the show. The pomp and circumstances is our last concert, which is in May 7th. And May 7th, we actually have commissioned a composer I actually went to school with. His name is Willie Owens. Willie is a professional composer. He lives out in Texas, and he is writing a piece for Evergreen Park's band and chorus. And so they'll premiere that at that concert for the finale.
So this is like a first-time piece. Nobody's ever heard it before, written specifically for
Evergreen Park.
For Evergreen Park.
Correct. And actually then people actually will be able to purchase it, so we'll be the first band to record it.
Really?
And first it'll be the first performance. So the premiere performance of that would be May 7th.
All right, do you already have the music? I would assume you already have it because you're getting ready to play it.
He called me up last week and he's promised me that it would be done by St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
So I'm thinking next week we'll get it for the first time. And Mr. Scalf, our new choir director, will teach the choir their parts, and I'll teach the band our parts. And the composer actually is flying in for the premiere. So the composer will be there. And we actually picked another piece that Willie wrote, and he'll also guest conduct at that concert. So it's a pretty special concert. So if you have a calendar, mark it down because the price is right, because our concerts at the high school are open to the public.
I hear you talking about this, and I think it's going to be a great event, and it's very exciting that you're going to kind of go out with a bang. It sounds like with the end of your career over at Evergreen Park High School. But I've always wanted to ask a band director this, especially a high school band director. Of all the things you get to do, whether it be band camp in the summer and everybody getting ready, which I was in the marching band myself, and so I know what that's like. It's kind of a fun week or so when people are doing that, to the marching competitions or the football games, to the pep band maybe at a basketball game, to the concerts in the winter, to the parades, marching downtown possibly, or on the South Irish Parade, or even the trips. What's the highlight for you? If you look back on it now, nearly 4 decades, what's the best part of being in the band, or at least for you, running a band? What was the best part?
Honestly, that question can't be answered with one answer. It goes year to year, and the answer is the students. The students make it what it is. And every year, the students have the band has a different identity, a different feel. And it might be a marching contest one year. It might be a concert. It might be a trip. But it goes year to year. I couldn't say this is the number one thing that I look forward to every year. It's like you look back at the year at graduation and you're like, wow, that trip to San Antonio was really cool, which was like last year.
Yeah.
Or that concert when we backed up the St. Xavier band was really neat. At Trinity College, or that performance at Sandwich, when we took first place. It really depends on the year, and it depends on the students and really how psyched they get. I know that whenever we perform, I don't say, how do you think we did? Or, I always ask them, how did it feel? Because I think music is really that. Music makes the listener and the performer feel really connected and really special, and it's a special art form. So really, I mean, it's an impossible question that you asked me, but I mean, the answer, the best answer I can give is it goes year to year, and it's a different answer every year.
And I think the other thing before we get into the rest of this that I learned about you already is that you started off in the percussion section. And now I played saxophone, and I'll be honest, those of us that play instruments that have a lot of different keys and stuff like that feel pretty cocky that like we're talented, right? And like the other people are just like banging on a drum. But my son is actually learning drums right now, and I find it really interesting. You started in the percussion section, went on to conduct band for 38 years, probably know so much about music and all of the different instruments. So it really doesn't matter where you start at, does it? If you love music and you get into it, you can grow it into a career like you did.
Well, what's great about music is you can learn any instrument like the saxophone and then play guitar, and it'll help you. There's not a special music, there's not choir music and band music, it's music, and I'm just going to sing it this time, and I'm going to play it this time, and I might strum it with this guitar. But everything that you learn in music will help you musically do something else in music. So it's something that I think we have over sports, which is, the oldest athlete I can remember that was still doing it professionally was Carlton Fisk. I think he was like 41 years old, and usually at 41 years old, a lot of musician friends I know are just getting their groove on, and they're just starting, So, and a lot of them I've seen, with their axe in their hand, at their wake. It's something you can do your whole life and reap that benefit of enjoyment.
That's awesome. Amy, you guys just had a play, right? Did you have it, or is it coming up, the Cinderella play?
We did. Cinderella was 2 weeks ago.
How did that go?
Amazing.
I know we talked about it on the show, but I didn't make it to the actual performance, but I know that it looked like it was going to be a lot of fun. You had character meet and greets and things like that. Now that is done, you have more stuff, I would imagine, planned coming up?
Yeah, we're going into the spring. Cinderella was great. The community support was amazing. So definitely a thank you to everybody that came out. We had about 150 that came to the character lunch, all the little girls with their little blue dresses and tiaras.
That's cool.
Was great that they were able to take pictures with the characters, and the cast really enjoyed that very much. And we had almost a sold-out show on Sunday because of it, which was fantastic. Because if the kids are going to work that hard for 3 months to put something on for 3 days, you want to have as many people see it as you can. So it was really, really great. Summer camp is open for theater. We're doing Beetlejuice Jr. over the summer, brand new release. Goes with the new movie and all that. We're going to put Beetlejuice on stage. We're at about half capacity for registration right now. Probably going to shut that down about the middle of April. Okay.
And then I know that there's a lot of things going on over at the high school that are like non-athletic competitive things or clubs, or what is the season right now? Like, what's happening now?
So we're kind of coming out of most of those competitive seasons, but yeah, we've had a lot of competitive success in the activities realm this year. I actually just took some notes so I don't forget anybody. Our chess team was more fall, November, December. They qualified for state for the third time in the last 4 years. Scholastic Bowl just finished their season. Our varsity team was conference champs for the second year in a row, and JV joined them as conference champs this year. Mathletes, we have 16 state qualifiers this year that are going to go down to ISU at the end of April, on the same day that we have another 7 kids in Science Olympiad that will go down and compete at the state level. So we've had a lot of success in those academic competitions. We had 7 medal winners in FBLA regionals that are going to compete.
What's FBLA?
FBLA is the Future Business Leaders of America. So they're competing in subject areas like accounting and business models. They have to do a Shark Tank business presentation is one of the events.
That'll be something that pays off later on in life.
100%.
I mean, it's so funny to me now. Like, we're all from a similar generation, okay, and I remember that we didn't talk very much in school about money, finance, business, any of that stuff. Like, I run my own company now. I had to figure out how to do it by going out and buying a book that was like how to run a company for dummies. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, and the first time I understood like how my net worth would actually increase by owning what I was doing, even if I was making the same amount of money working for somebody else, was when I was like 40. And I was like, oh, maybe I should turn this podcast thing into like a business. These kids are learning this stuff at a young age, and then they're winning awards, competing, doing it.
Yep, they are. We're very, very proud of all of those career-based elective offerings that we have. We have a student out of our industrial tech program that took third place in a welding competition at Moraine last month. So we're supporting the trades as well. And then finally, we're getting ready to host esports conference and the state tournament for the third year in a row. We've got a team of returning members from Mario Kart that took sixth in state last year. So we're hoping to see that placement move up a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah. Do you have an actual competitive Mario Kart team?
We do.
I love that.
We
I
do.
love that.
Mario Kart, Rocket League, Smash Bros. I'm forgetting one. Oh, Madden was added this year.
Yeah, just beware the blue turtle. It ruins the entire race, okay? I was curious. This is the first time I've had the two of you down here, but I've seen you when you're out of things. I've seen you from the 4th of July parade to events over at the school and things like that. I wonder, it's got to be just such an interesting thing to work in the same building as your significant other, like to be with your husband and wife both working in the same building, and you both work with the arts in different ways. And so you probably come across each other. Like, I mean, Ken, when she's doing a play, does the band like throw in musical support sometimes? Are you guys, is there sometimes where one of you is asking somebody else for something, and it's an interesting dynamic, I would imagine, when you're working with each other.
He's conducted every show that I've directed at the high school.
Right. Okay. So then do you give him orders? Is that what you do? Or
No, I don't think we work that way. I think we're a pretty good team.
And the thing is, way back when we got together, working together.
Okay.
And, I think we share the same goals. We want excellence, and we want things to be smooth, and we don't want drama, even though it's in the drama. So I get that question a lot, like, how can you work with your wife? That kind of stuff. It's like she's really, really such a professional, and she treats me like a professional, and I treat her like a professional. So I mean, it's not like you're working with a family member, you're working with a colleague. And I think as long as you keep it there, it's fine. And just the idea that we both are musicians. She knows what I'm dealing with if I'm like, talking about an intonation problem in class, and when she was teaching choir, we can talk about attacks and releases too. So I mean, it's
you
good
speak the language.
We know each other that way.
We're also not the only married couple at the school.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the only ones I know about, but
yes.
I mean, like, I don't go through the directory and try to figure it out.
Yeah. No, there's a couple others. There's a couple other pairs as well.
So what is the band doing right now besides preparing for that concert? Was there something? I know in the fall it's marching season. I know you do competitions. I believe that you've had an award named after you at one of the more prestigious competitions at the Midwest. What is it? A concert competition? What do they call that?
Yeah, concert band
competition.
Festival, yes.
And so now is it parade season now? Is it spring sports? Is it getting ready for May?
Okay, it's really a lot. From 2025, we started our first week back getting ready for our SSC conference festival, which Evergreen Park hosted. We had about 120 of the best musicians in our conference play with guest conductors, and that was a one-day event. Right after that, we got ready for that Midwest Band Festival. The band did extremely well. We received 3 Division I superior ratings, and that was good. But then the week after that was Cinderella, so that's 2.5 hours more of music with the kids singing and playing. The week after that, the choir had the SSC Choir Festival, and they sang their literature for all the other choirs at TF North, I believe. And 3 days later was Soul Ensemble at Revis, where we had 63 events. And out of that 63 events, the students received 115 superior medals, Division I medals, and 26 excellent medals, which is
It's big.
Really good for us.
It's a lot. I mean, they have to be talented if they're switching music constantly. Like, I'm listening to what you're doing, and it's like, it's not like they're practicing one thing for 3 months. It's like, all right, we did this, and now you guys have 6 days to get ready for Cinderella. Like, I mean, that's a lot.
It is, and this is the roughest part of the year. You said, what season are you in? It's like all of them at once.
I'm in all the seasons.
Yes,
that's all.
and coming up, I mean, next year they'll be getting ready for a Florida trip, and they'll be working on that music. Not this year. It's not a trip year, but this would be the time you would do that. We normally would do the St. Patrick's Day parade back in the day, but. Not so much, but that would have been this Saturday. So
yeah.
I'm kind of, not disappointed we won't be playing it. But
depending on the weather, that's either a fun parade or a miserable parade. I've marched in that parade 4 times as a member of a marching band, and I think it was half and half. Half of them were terrible, and half of them you couldn't wait to get back on the bus, and the other half you enjoyed.
I like what you're thinking there.
I want to say there was one of them where I was like, our fingers were frozen to the instruments, and half of us, we couldn't get any music out. And we're like, nobody's paying attention to us anyway. And we're just watching the bus get closer as we were marching towards it. Couldn't wait to get out of there.
It's worse downtown because it's windier.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible when it comes to that.
We've done the Thanksgiving parade.
Yes.
And that's snowier.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody thinks, the band's having a great time. They're not. They're not. The only time the band's having a great time in a parade is like when they're marching in Hawaii. It's fun in downtown Honolulu. Trust me.
Magic Kingdom's not bad either.
Magic Kingdom's not bad either. And you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff that nobody else gets
Right.
to see, which is kind of cool. Ken, Amy, it sounds like you guys are super busy, but a lot of accomplishments going on over at Evergreen Park High School. And Ken, congratulations on the successful career. I hope when you go out with a bang on May 7th at that concert, you get a big crowd, that new music sounds absolutely amazing, and you get all the accolades you deserve.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.